In an attempt to get through all of this footage as quickly as possible, I have begun watching them play Final Fantasy during all other activities, such as preparing and eating meals. I find myself listening to them ruminate about the Jerky Boys and prank phone calls for hours as I prepare myself a delicious cheeseburger. And just as I sit down to enjoy it, they relate a story about a boy eating trash in the streets of Bangladesh as one of the Jerky Boys looks on. I think about my own previous works and wonder if maybe I am simply disparaging two amateurs who are budding into professionals as the image strikes me so deeply. But then they move on and continue talking about the Jerky Boys with not so much as a glance at the profundity of the image in front of them and how it may relate to themselves playing Final Fantasy in Los Angeles, a city with a homeless population that has grown so out of control that the world news cannot help but speak about it. Sometimes I feel like that boy on the streets, looking up and seeing the pitying eyes of Jeff and Ryan staring back as I eat the garbage out of their trash can. I finish my cheeseburger and lie down on my couch, sick to my stomach, maybe from the burger, maybe from the cheese, maybe from Final Fantasy, and let my consciousness drift off.
Where are the rice ads?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It should just be rice. It's really good. Today's auction is over. Fuck you.
Welcome to No One Can Know About This, a podcast where we play every Final Fantasy. I'm Jeff Ekman.
And I'm Ryan Kazmiski.
And here we go, Season 3, Episode 9.
Yeah, it is. It's episode. I would feel like at this point I have to just repeat and say it's Episode 9.
I know, well that's the routine now. Mm-hmm. This is one that I think a lot of people have been waiting for, including me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you don't know what this is, I don't think saying this is the Opera House episode will be a spoiler. If you do know what it is, you understand.
Exactly. So, this is the Opera House episode. Where we left off, we finally got the clock puzzle finished.
Yeah.
We got the chainsaw. We're heading out of Zozo. Mm-hmm. We've got Magicite. Lots been happening.
Yeah, and we got to find a way to get to the Empire's Magicite research facility. That's
exactly.
That's like the goal.
But first, we're going to the opera, I guess.
Well, it's part of the plan of how to get to the Empire.
You're right.
It'll be revealed.
It'll be revealed.
It'll make sense-ish.
as with all Final Fantasies, it will make sense.
It'll make enough sense for you to be emotionally invested.
Yes. So, without any further ado, let's do it!
Chainsaw. Doesn't really look like a chainsaw. It looks like a circular saw.
I started to research the history of the chainsaw and was very quickly like, there's nothing here.
You were like, it was invented, it works. I don't like
Because before there were two-man saws and you had to have a two-man, but then this basically made it so that the two-man thing was happening on one man.
Yeah, that's...
The engine came and we used it.
Nobody needs to hear about this. Maybe this guy in this big house can help us now.
Owzer?
Oh, there's another guy here.
Oh.
So we head back to the rich part of town and decide to check out the big Art Owzer's house again.
Yeah, see if there's something different.
There's this impresario in here, which I'm going to ask you, Jeff, because we've run into an impresario on a train.
A ghost train.
And now there's the impresario here, he's like the head of the opera.
Uh-huh.
What is an impresario? Do you know?
Let me look it up right now.
Okay.
A person who organizes and often finances concerts, plays, or operas.
So why was there an impresario on the train? Anyway, whatever.
He was organizing the concert of death.
Yeah, you must
Somebody
be right.
has to organize all that shit and keep all the timetables that they don't need anymore in their heads.
That's true. Anyway.
He's here, though, in Owzer's house, and he's like, Celeste, you look just like Maria, the opera singer, which we heard a little bit about before.
Yeah, but now that comes into play.
Yeah, now we get a little cutscene. They're like, oh my god, you look just like her.
Maria? Oh.
Are you talking to me, Celeste? She
Wow.
looks like that.
You could pass for Maria in a heartbeat. Oh boy. Now I really am in trouble. the spitting image of Maria, huh? Haven't heard of her? She's a famous opera singer.
There's too much dialogue.
That guy dropped a letter as he ran away.
So we find the guy's letter, and like the master of the house, which I guess is like the head butler.
Here's the thing: is this is Owser's house,
Right.
and we're not going to meet Owser until much, much later in the game.
Right.
So
this is his staff.
this has got to be his staff. Yeah.
The master comes and tells us about the impresario.
Yeah.
He's the director of the operas here. Everyone just calls him Impresario.
Oh.
He's been in a tizzy ever since that letter arrived. Oh, let me just take a look here. My dear Maria, I want you for my wife.
Whoa.
I'm coming for you.
The Wandering
Signed,
Gambler?
The Wandering Gambler.
Oh my god.
In this letter, apparently a kidnapper is making his intentions known.
Yeah.
He's that brazen about
And
his
confident.
plot. Yeah, that he's going to send a letter first and be like, just so you know, I'm coming for you.
And I will be coming for you at this time and date.
I mean, I guess this is like the downside of living in a part of town that's so nice. I guess there must be no police or anything. There's no way to prevent
Yeah.
this from happening. The impresario is just like, oh my god, it's gonna happen, and there's
Right.
nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, it is a fucked up type of blackmail letter for a character that is a playable, lovable guy.
Yeah.
What kind of a stalker ass
This
message?
Wandering, what's his name?
Gambler
Whoa.
was airship.
So after introducing the idea of a character in the most horrifying way, it cuts to an airship and the introduction of Setzer.
Yeah, then it's probably like the most glorious introduction that any character gets in the game.
Yeah.
He's like standing on the bow of the ship flying through the sky.
It's glorious.
A blackjack playing, world traveling, casino dwelling, free spirit. I love him instantly.
Setzer.
Setzer, the blackjack playing, free spirited, casino dwelling gambler?
On an airship. That's Setzer, owner of the world's only airship. They're like, there's only one.
There's only one
Fuck
in
that,
this
there's
game.
just one.
Fuck that 8 different airships bullshit. There's only one, and there can only be one.
If we could get that airship, we'd make it to the Empire in no time. Let's set up a meeting with this Setzer.
Do we get to go have a scene in a casino like all of the coolest movies of 2018? Or 2017? Whatever that movie came. Fuck it.
So we head down south to the Opera House to meet up with the impresario.
I read that letter. Setzer's coming to steal her. He'll probably appear right at the climax of scene 1. He loves an entrance. Right. If we could only grab him then. Dear me, no. You'll ruin the performance.
So we formulate a plan to get in touch with Setzer. It's quite a plan
Quite a
that
plan.
we come up with.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll use Celes as a decoy. After she's abducted, I'll follow him right to his airship.
We're all looking around like, is this an idea?
Are you mad if something should happen to Maria?
That's why the decoy will hide Maria somewhere safe.
So one weird thing about any plot involving like duplicate people, I don't know how else to put it, but like
Well, there's Maria, and then there's Celeste, and they
yeah,
look the same.
I know, but can you imagine? Like we never meet Maria, the other person who looks just like Celeste.
That's a good point.
It'd be like if you watched The Parent Trap, except there was just one Lindsay Lohan, and like somebody just assured her that she looked just like this other girl.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like the Mary-Kate and Ashley Switch movies that they were doing
But if
for a
there was
little
just
while.
one, and everyone was like, "Trust me, you look just like the other person," and they switched, but you never saw the other side.
That's exactly what this is.
The decoy will be our close friend. We're gonna put her in danger.
We're volunteering her for this. Now, just a minute.
She's not on board for the idea.
I remember this part very well because this part is amazing. Brilliant! Wait.
I'm a general, not some opera floozy. You can be anything you want, Celeste.
Yes, Celeste, you can be anything you want. An opera floozy, whatever you want.
Anything.
But really, we need you to be an opera floozy
That,
right now.
right? Later, you can be something else again.
Mi, do, re, mi, fa. I can't sing. Maria.
Haley, come here. He's laughing his ass off. Not bad, Celes.
Yeah.
And as we're ready to go in, an old friend shows up.
Whoa, Ultros is here?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck?
I'll pretend to be Setzer and foil their little plan.
Wait. Did the octopus overhear us in the lobby of an opera, and now he's gonna foil our plan?
Yes, he's going to play the part of Setzer.
There's a painting of him in that other
I
building.
know. Maybe there's a painting because Ultros loves the opera.
What?
I don't know. That's just what
Is
I'm
Ultros like a card-carrying member? Like he goes every weekend?
I don't know. That guy has a painting of him in his house.
This is amazing. An octopus overheard us.
I just remember this whole part. You're like, we're in like the comedy opera episode, like a weird plot that unfolds that just like happens.
Okay, let's watch this unfold.
He threw a letter.
Okay,
Celeste, it's showtime.
so we're gonna fall for.
Doc, come on, read it.
That's like one of my favorite jokes in the entire game.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is worth noting because what happens is Ultros has like a letter he wants us to see, like to
Right.
stumble upon, and he like throws it right behind us and we walk away without looking at it. and he's like, ah.
He has the line, da.
Yeah.
Like, da, come on. And I
it's-
think it's perfect.
It's so worth noting because it is one of the only jokes that like really like hits.
Yes.
Like it has timing. It's not just about reading it. Like you see the letter fall on the ground.
There's visual comedy.
Yeah, it's really a nice moment.
It's great.
Well, I also just love like Ultros. We're gonna recognize him.
I know.
His plan is bad.
Now we go to another one of the great pieces of artwork that's in this game, which is the opera itself and the orchestra and its stage, and it's just so well drawn.
You can almost like feel the Super Nintendo creaking as this happens. Like there's several different depths, like planes of field that like move separate from each other.
But one of the limitations of it is like there's only two images that it's flipping back and forth between. So it's the effect of the conductor with his arm up and then the conductor with his arm down. And it's just flipping back and forth at such a speed that it just looks like he's jamming the fuck out.
Also, like the people in this audience and this conductor do not resemble any other type of person you see anywhere else in the game.
It's completely unique to this place, and it's awesome.
Whoa, look at these guys playing their fucking hearts out.
Yeah.
Bunch of little Van Goghs. This is quite the opera house.
Just a bunch of little Van Goghs.
They do look like that, right?
Yeah. The West and East
Uh-oh.
were waging war.
Uh-huh. And then the War of the Magi came and...
Draco, the West's great hero,
Uh-huh.
thinks of his love, Maria. Is she safe? Is she waiting?
Chocobos. This play has chocobos in it?
Yeah, this production value is insane at this opera.
You know what I would love? Oh, shit.
Oh, Maria.
Whoa.
Oh, Maria. I'm just gonna... Please hear my voice.
Is this in Italian? Is he singing?
Yeah.
What?
How I long to be with you. This is so unbelievably epic to me.
This is huge. Nobody's in these back on the balcony seats but us?
Yeah, we're just sitting back here. I'm going to the dressing room. Is everything okay?
This is amazing.
Sabine is like, what? Where are we? What's happening?
What is this place? Why would this place exist?
I want to point out how much I'm just blown away by, like, we're on a balcony overlooking this whole amazing scene. The balcony is like wrapping around in the way that like a theater would. As
Yeah.
you can hear, I'm loving it.
This is unbelievably cool.
And I mean, even though it's like, you know, graphics from a different era, the presentation of it in conjunction with the music and everything, like really
It works.
really works.
This location, the
music.
fact that we've gone to here and this is a thing in this game, like we have officially 1000% arrived with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, being like a giant, epic journey that takes you to unexpected places that are unique and cool and adorable.
Off limits. Please turn around. How the fuck do I get to the dressing room?
Left side.
Oh, here we go.
So much theater.
Was it not? Oh, it's like up here.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So as Locke, we go and find Celeste to see how she's doing. You know, does she have any nerves before her big performance?
And what do you know? She looks just like Maria.
The resemblance is uncanny. I can barely tell it's her.
It's impossible
Yeah.
for you to tell it's her.
Oh, is...
Red face.
Is that you?
The most beautiful Maria who looks exactly like
Locke.
somebody who I've been hanging out with.
Why did you help me escape back there?
Also of note here is, like, in this scene, they've been building it before. I don't think we've really been tracking it, but there is, like, a relationship between Locke and Celeste.
Yes. Because he was the one that went and saved her originally, and she was like, I can't walk, and he was like, yes, you can, and then she did.
Yeah. And so here in this opera sequence, we get some, like, real thematic and practical building of that relationship. It's pretty cool.
I once abandoned someone when she needed me. Her name
Yeah,
was
we
Rachel.
saw. It was fucked up, dude.
Really fucked up.
What you did. Somewhere inside you were saving her, weren't you?
I gotta make up for my past in my present.
That ribbon suits you.
Oh, I hope it's the ribbon.
On with the show. This is a big scene in which Maria senses that something's happened to Draco.
This does seem like it's a big scene.
You better check the score one last time.
So we checked the score, which is telling you what the speech is that you're going to need to know. You know, the lyrics.
Yeah, she's checking over the lyric sheet again to make sure she's memorized her part for the show.
Scene 1. Oh, my hero.
You wanna do it?
Sure. So far away now. Will I ever see her smile? Love goes away like night into day. Just a fading dream. I'm the darkness, you're the stars, our love is brighter than the sun. For eternity, for me, there can be. Only you, my chosen one.
The lyric sheet is very long.
Must I forget you? Our solemn promise. Will autumn take the place of spring? What shall I do? I'm lost without you. Speak to me once more.
Jesus.
Here you pick up the flowers.
Holy shit.
Climb the stairs to the balcony high atop the castle. Raise the flowers to the stars. Hurry, you just have moments before scene 2 starts. Scene 2.
That's a note from the impresario. Okay, so...
Should we read it one more time?
No, we don't need to read it
Okay.
again. But I think that that's important information. Because are you gonna now go perform that? Because I know you gotta go up the stairs with the flowers. And you're gonna have to hurry, because then scene 2 is gonna start.
So let me just paint you a picture of what the stage looks like. Because, like, you don't walk out onto a stage. You walk out onto a set that's, like, 4 stories tall.
Right.
That's like a castle rampart against a huge backdrop of, like, a sky.
I don't even know that it counts as a stage.
Like, this
it looks... If you were to just walk in during this scene, you'd be like, oh, weird castle.
There's a
that she's
castle
on.
inside of this opera house.
Well, you wouldn't even know that you were in an opera house.
No, you would, because you would be looking at the front of this would be all opera house with, like, the gold lining.
No, I'm
and
saying
the...
if somebody walked into the room when we were playing the game.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
in
I
the
thought you
living
meant
room.
in
No,
the
no, no,
world
no.
of the
Of
game.
course they
I was
know that
like,
they're in
of
an
course
opera
you would
house.
know you're
no,
in an
I'm
opera
saying
house.
if you were to look at it right now from here.
Yeah, no, it
you'd be
does.
like,
It just
wait.
looks like a castle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get the idea that, like, this opera is operating on a level of, like, Cirque du Soleil or, like, the highest budget Broadway show.
Exactly.
Like, just, like, totally crazy.
The forces of the West fell, and Maria's castle was taken. Prince Ralph of the East took her hand by force, but she never stopped yearning for Draco.
Yearning for Draco.
The next line is...
Oh, fuck. Oh, my hero.
Oh, my hero.
What the fuck?
Oh, my hero, so far away now, will I ever
What the...
see your smile?
We're like at the top of a... We're not on a stage anymore.
Love goes away like night into day. It's just a fading dream. I wish or I'm the darkness.
I wish right?
I didn't choose in time.
Okay.
I wish
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. We gotta start the scene over.
So basically it kicks you out of the opera house and you wake up like, oh, fuck, and you walk back in and the impresario's ready to hear you out.
Yeah, to make that clear, we fucked up the opera.
We fucked it up.
We didn't remember our lines. It all went bad.
And now we're like talking to the impresario like, please.
Yeah, and he's like, you got 3 more chances. But the funniest thing about this to me is Setzer was like, I'm going to come kidnap you.
Today.
And we messed it up, and he was like, nah, maybe when you get it right.
Maybe
like,
when you get it right.
Because he like wants it to be dramatic and
You're
shit.
totally right
like,
about that. I didn't even realize... What the fuck?
He's so predictable. The impresario was like, I know exactly when he's going to show up. It's going to be this moment in the play, because that would be the most dramatic possible time to come steal her. And we never got to the moment, so he was like, shit, gotta come buy another ticket.
3 more chances. Yesterday's performance was terrible. I will give you 3 more chances to fuck up this entire thing.
So we start again. Go down to the dressing room.
I don't think it's a situation of 3 more chances. He's like, I literally can't get anybody in to cover for you for the next week, which means you keep your job, but just know you fucked this. And if I can get somebody to cover for you for the last minute, you're gone.
You'd better check the score one last time. Okay. Oh my hero, so far away. So it starts with oh my hero, where'll I ever leave your smile? Fading dream. I'm the darkness, you're the stars.
Our love is brighter than the sun. For eternity, for me there can be.
Only you, my chosen one.
My chosen one.
Must I forget you? Our solemn promise. Pick up the flowers, climb the stairs. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Alright.
I already forgot all of it.
Yeah, me too. It'll come back to me. Oh man, there's a great documentary my brother made about me when I was doing stand-up in high school.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'll have to tell you the story.
Okay, so real quick, the documentary that he made about
Yeah,
me.
now is the time.
All right, fucking goddamn it. Because this is so embarrassing for me that I literally haven't seen it in 10 years, and the thought of seeing it embarrasses me.
I haven't even heard about it, which I can't believe. So it must really... You must have buried that one deep.
I don't talk about this one, and my brother loves to. So when he was in college and I was in high school, I was doing stand-up comedy. Around that time, I think the movie Comedian came out, which is about Jerry Seinfeld and an up-and-coming comedian, Orny Adams, who stinks, but for a bunch of reasons, he comes across that way in the movie. Anyway, he's in film school in college, and he's got to make a documentary. He gets the idea of, like, my little brother is doing stand-up while he's in high school. I could follow him when he goes and does a set at, like, in Boston, because I used to have to drive down. I lived in New Hampshire, but there were no clubs that had open mics, so I would have to drive down to Boston, perform there at Dick Doherty's Beantown Vault, which used to be a bank vault, and now it's a comedy club. Anyway, I had this new bit that I was going to do that night, that the whole movie is tracking me writing the bit, and then rehearsing the bit, and then eventually to the performance.
Oh my God, I have to see this.
And the bit is really dumb and really complicated. And I have to remember a lot of parts. Oh my God, now I'm realizing I'm going to have to get some audio from that documentary and drop that in
Definitely. Absolutely, for certain.
Man,
Yeah.
shit.
For about a week, I really wanted to be a doctor. I learned a lot about being a doctor, and then I realized I would have to go through medical school in order to do that.
I hate that I'm like, my philosophy is turn into the pain.
What is the bit?
Okay, well, the bit is based on board games, and I don't even remember that there's like a real premise to it other than like how weird it would be to for board games realities to be in real life. And there was like, and I wound up being a list where it's like, you don't see a Navy guy yelling out, "You sunk my battleship," and he doesn't yell, "Sorry," and like there was like a list of, I can't remember them all now.
Well, you're gonna have to, because we're gonna have to track down that. We're gonna have to track.
It's
down
not going to
tape.
be that hard to track down. Dan has it. He has it, and he would include it in a second.
This is the board game thing? Yeah, this is the board game thing. He had to have an operation. Then he was afraid that the police were on to him because he had accidentally left a card behind that said it was Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the drawing room. Then he took a risk. And he attacked Baltic. All right, that's enough. Then he said sorry. Okay, all right, that's it. I'm done. Then he lived happily ever in Candyland. All right, that's it. I'm done. Parcheesi. All right, that's the last one that I got. I just wanted to say Parcheesi.
Oh my god.
But here's the real thing, is like a big chunk of it is driving down to Boston, and I don't have it yet. Like, I don't have it in my head. I have it written out, and I know what the bit is, but I can't, like, recite it, and it requires this, like, quick recitation.
Then connect the 4 and send them out. And there's the other stuff. See, I know what the next thing is, but I gotta say it fast.
And we get down, and I finally get on stage, and it's time to do the bit, and as I start to do it, I realize I don't have it at all, and I bail on the bit.
And you don't hear about a guy stuck in jail because he killed Colonel Mustard in the study with the candlestick, trying to roll doubles so he can get out. And you don't hear about a Navy guy, saying stuff like, well, I'm doing great.
And then the set just nosedives from there. Because I think at the end of the set, there was a guy, oh god, this is so brutal, man. I was 16 years old and it still hurts so bad. Like, I'm like, that's a different person, and yet this one hurts.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't know that there was a comedy show going on downstairs and came down the stairs yelling, "Piss all over the fucking place."
Piss all over the fucking place. What?
And I, like, am in the middle of the climactic bit that was, like, my closer, that was about the time where I shit my pants right in front of the toilet.
I mean, it sounds like a strong closer.
It was a big applause break. And I just yell out in the most, like, comedian who doesn't know how to handle a situation. I say something like,
Thank you very much. Ruined my joke.
the whole set, like, and I had, like, didn't ever finished that bit. Like, that just doesn't happen on it. And my brother is there as the documentarian, and he's going,
like, this is the best thing I've ever done.
My movie is made.
Yeah.
I thought I did handle it pretty well, though. You handled it quite well. And you made it from, formidable effort, and then, understandably jump ship.
So, that's that story.
Man, I feel like Mark Maron. So tell me, when you get out there, how are you starting? You going down to clubs? Like, where do you go? Like, open mics, or somebody who works the door somewhere.
I think he knows the Beantown Vault.
It's a great name for a comedy club.
It is.
What's Beantown?
Beantown is a term for Boston. That's like a slang term for Boston.
Oh, man.
Like, the Big Apple?
Yeah. I
Beantown.
had no idea.
Beantown.
There's a lot of mysteries about the East Coast to me.
That's why I think the parody Bostonian improv team that the UCB guys would do at the Del Close Marathon every year, the whole bit was that they were from Boston and they were doing improv comedy. And they were like, "We're funny beans. We're here. We need a one-word suggestion." Okay. We'll make the documentary available for anybody who's a Patreon subscriber. And also, we recorded me, Ryan, and my brother watching this for the first time in 10 years, and we're going to make that available in the early access feed.
Yeah, we've made kind of like a mini-sode about us watching Jeff's embarrassing childhood.
Yeah, so go check that out.
Well, anyway, we're about to return to try to attempt to recite our own performance again.
Yeah, the second time on the opera.
Second time around at the opera.
Here we go.
The forces of the West fell. Maria's castle was taken.
Prince Ralph to the east.
Oh, my hero.
I mean, talk about puppet theater.
Yeah, exactly, right? Amazing puppet theater.
Truly amazing puppet theater.
So far away now.
Like, what I love about this is, like, she opens her mouth to say these specific words, and she's like, ah, wah, 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 wah.
I'm the darkness.
Yeah, in the darkness. You're the stars. Together we're space, or whatever.
The stars.
Oh, we've reached the second part of the balcony.
Brighter than the sun.
I know.
I'm nervous. For me there can be only you, my chosen one.
Prince Ralph.
Oh. Yes, thank you. I was like, fuck.
I've got that speech in my head.
No, that was wrong.
No, it wasn't Prince Ralph? God damn it! I was really old. Like, I got it. I had the confidence of the hubris to think that I was even right after it.
I've learned nothing. Like, this is literally what happened to me back in that documentary, and yet it's happening again, and I'm doing the exact same mistake.
Anyway, we got 2 more chances.
That's what he says.
2 more chances at the opera.
This guy is gonna be pissed. You have 2 more chances. He doesn't even, he's not even mad, he's just like, you have 2 more chances.
You have 2 more shots.
Okay. Oh my hero, so far away now, will I ever see your smile? Love goes away like night into day, it's just a fading dream. I'm the darkness, that one's important, I'm the darkness. Oh my hero, I'm the darkness. Only you, not Prince...
Not Rouse.
Oh, what shall I do? I'm lost without you. Speak to me once more. I gotta give him credit for him not making it easy. Like, it's a difficult piece of... Oh, my hero.
Today, like a thing.
Like, you know how it's sung. I'm the darkness. Oh, I'm the darkness! Hear the stars. Like, this part is just sung super
they
slow.
hit each beat of the words. For eternity, she's missed congeniality.
Must I? Yeah, must I forget you? Solemn promise. Will autumn
turn to spring.
take the place of spring?
It's taking the place of summer, really, but let's not get technical.
What shall I do? I'm lost without you. Here you pick up the flowers. Where are the flowers?
Right, where are the flowers? Where are the flowers? Who's this guy? Romeo? Gotta pick up the flowers.
Where are they?
Stairs. Go. Does he have them? This is a
God, I hope I'm
gigantic
doing
stage.
this right. Yeah, it's insane.
He's become flowers.
Yeah, pick up the flowers.
He
walk
has
to the
become
top.
flowers. Yeah, hurry!
Stairs.
Hurry! Scene 2 starting.
Okay, I think I gotta walk to here.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then hold him up to the stars. We must part now. My life goes on, but my heart won't give you up. I'm gonna throw the flowers.
There I walk away. I won't age a day. I'll wait for you. Always. Locke must be just bawling his eyes out. Like, it's just too much.
She's like singing to the Draco that's not there that like she's gonna wait for him and not age a day, which kind of comes out of nowhere and is like written in like almost just to like hurt Locke. Like he's sitting there thinking about the girl that he left in like suspended animation in a basement, who's just gonna wait for him forever until he finds a treasure that he's heard might be out there that might bring her back.
It's a weird line to have in the opera.
It is, yeah.
Leave the past behind. Our kingdom is adopting the spirit of the East. Scene 2 starting.
We managed to get it right this time.
Finally get it.
And the opera continues.
Dude, there's a whole opera.
I know.
I'm so in love with this.
Well done, Celes. Celes. Cecil. Oh,
Letter from Ultron.
I owe you one, so I'm gonna jam up your opera. Uh-oh. Better tell the impresario.
I did read that as, I'm gonna jam one right up your opera.
Must make quite a sound, jamming it up someone's opera. What?
What?
The survivors of the West attack.
Impossible, says Rouse.
Yeah.
The dolls are being jammed together like shampoo bottles by Adam Sandler.
Wait. Maria.
Maria.
It's like, she's amazing. She's an imposter.
Waited so long. I knew you'd come. Maria will finally have to become my queen. It's a duel. Oh, this is the original Hamilton.
But how might he disrupt the opera? With that?
So in the rafters above the stage is Ultros the octopus. Mm-hmm. He's got a 4-ton weight, and he's like, oh shit, it's going to take me exactly 5 minutes to push this off the ledge.
Yeah, his big plan is crush him with weights. Like his big plan is like a Looney Tunes.
Yeah, it's an
plan.
Acme weight.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's see if Maria can shrug this off. He's got a 4-ton Acme weight hang over her head.
This is heavier than I thought. It's 5 minutes to drop it.
What the No way! What? Wait.
We haven't a second to lose.
No, you have 5 minutes to lose.
Talk to the man in the room to the far right. He'll help you get up there.
That's hilarious. Oh my god, this thing is so heavy, it's gonna take 5 minutes to drop it. What? That doesn't make any fucking
Like his
sense.
pushing it.
But what? Yeah, I go over the edge of the
asked me
plank.
to have you push the far right switch. Enter the room to the far left of the stage, then make for the framework above the stage. God damn it. This is hilarious.
This is so funny.
Oh, there's fights
Specific-
that are...
Oh.
God.
Sewer rat, what are you doing here in this perfect opera house? They didn't get rid of the sewer rats?
They didn't get rid of the sewer rats.
This is an awesome background for this.
Yeah.
This is so great.
We're fighting about the opera.
I did really not expect this from this game.
Yeah, this is like when we lost stuff. I was like, it's gonna be so good.
I knew that. I'm still upset about like the conversation that were lost.
Oh, there's more rats coming? Fuck you, rats.
Oh, why?
With a minute and 40 seconds to spare, I made it to Ultros.
Awesome.
Phew, rats.
Whoa, he's gonna push you over? Oh shit, now we're all on stage.
We push Ultros off the rafters and fall off with them.
Yeah, so we all like land on the stage, disrupting the opera. I mean, this is kind of funny. This is like one of those like just keep it going kind of like
Yeah.
bits where like
Yeah,
everyone's
the
like, now the
impresario's
opera is this. Now the opera is a boss fight. That's
Yeah.
just what happens now.
Now, keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Haley, what are we gonna do? So it's all of us and an octopus.
Can you imagine if there was an opera on it was running for months or something?
It's like one of the ones that you know. Like
Yeah.
what is it?
It's
Carmen
the only opera
Miranda? Is that a
happening
thing?
near your town.
Yeah, it's this
And
opera.
You
You've
go
seen it
now
over and
then, 'cause
over
it's
again.
the only thing to do.
Mhm.
And then you went like the third time, and this time it's the same opera, same actors, and then it's just completely different.
I would be blown away. That would be one of those times where like you stand up and you furiously.
Yeah, I mean, now that I
Oh
think
my
about
God.
it, that should be like a model for the theater. It's
Yeah.
like, come back because you never know. We might just change some shit.
I think about that sometimes where like that was the excitement of the old Tonight Show. Like my dad told stories about like somebody always had to be on what they called Rickles watch every night in his dorm. Somebody had to be watching the Tonight Show in case Don Rickles showed up. And if he did, he would scream to everybody and everybody would run down and be like, Rickles, oh my God, he's on.
Yeah.
But somebody had to keep watch. Like, you gotta keep going to this opera.
Yeah.
You never know when there's gonna be an octopus boss fight.
I mean, I just want to submit that if they ever make like a Final Fantasy musical, that they have to make it so that like 5 or 10% of the time something different happens in the musical.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Disaster. If the two heroes are flattened, the opera's over. Then who will win the girl?
Probably the octopus. I, Locke, the world's premier adventurer, will save her. Silence. Wait, what was our Ultros voice? Oh yeah.
Silence! You are in the presence of octopus royalty! I'm a lowborn thug like you could never defeat me! Might as well make the most of this. Music! A long time no see! You've changed, did you miss me?
God, it's so fun to do that.
And it's fun to listen to, too, Jeff. I'll never get tired of hearing that voice over and over and over again for hours.
I get it.
Chainsaw. Yeah, it is like a circular saw.
Adios! He's had enough. Got 2 gold pieces.
I dropped my 2 cents. I hope you like them.
What a performance!
It was. Yeah.
What a performance!
The gambler was. What a performance! Yes! Yes!
Setzer! I'm a man of my word!
Music man!
I think you should do this.
Fuck yes. We can both take it.
That's him? What a reversal. Thinking she's Locke's new queen, Maria is instead nabbed by Setzer.
Why did we make this plan?
Not to say that this is the best, most sensible plan. Because, I mean, there's got to be another way to talk to Setzer.
There's got to be another way to get in touch with Setzer.
But, you know, we also helped out the impresario. Maria didn't get kidnapped.
You're
you know,
right.
We prevented
That just seems like low priority in this scenario.
It does.
The show must go on.
What fate lies in store for her? Stay tuned for part 2.
Is this intermission on the game? In a way?
Kind of, yeah. I think so.
Get ready for Act 2 of the game! I love the way that guy is conducting shit, because he's like, fuck fucking raging out, raging out.
I'll deal with you in a minute.
With musical guest.
The opera.
So our plan works, and we follow Setzer onto his airship.
Right.
Somehow.
I love that his plan was, I'm going to make the opera real.
Yeah.
This character's going to be kidnapped, but then it's the actress is going to be kidnapped.
He's just a very, like, dramatic, bold, washed-up gambler.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Does he do much else at all?
Well, we see, like, his past.
But does he have anything in his present or future?
No. No, he has, like, nothing to live for.
Right? Anyway, we're on the airship now, talking to Setzer.
How did they get... did we jump up? What happened there?
I think we, like, used the opportunity of the ship coming to get her to, like, jump onto the ship somehow and, like, sneak our way in.
Gotcha. Okay. What a performance. But this is the tough one. Part 2 begins now. See, it's meta.
Mm-hmm.
It's brilliant because it's meta.
Yeah.
Where's
Setzer?
Who are you? You're not Maria. No, that's not. No. It'll take me a bit to get it.
Setzer, we need your help. We have to go to Vector. We need the ship to get there.
If you're not on board, Maria, I don't want you on board.
We were told your ship is the finest vessel in the world. And that you were the world's most notorious gambler. I'm the king of... I'm the king of Figaro. If you cooperate, you'll be well rewarded.
Don't misunderstand me. I'm still not sure if I'm going to help you.
Man, this is unbearable.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. But you know what? When you're just trying stuff out...
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to find.
Yeah.
And one thing that I find on retrospect is that this voice wore thin fast, and it went nowhere.
Yeah, well, the real problem is that there's no way to carry on a conversation in that voice.
Well, there's a point at
necessarily.
which you were like, we should change this voice, and I was like, yeah, we should. And then I just didn't.
God.
The dumbest thing in the world. Oh, he's got his own private blackjack table? That's fucking awesome. Phew! The Empire's made me a rich man!
Stop thinking of yourself. Many towns and villages have been smashed by the Empire.
You know who else only cares about money? Shadow.
That's true. We all hate the Empire for the same reasons. That's why...
You know, you're even more stunning than our host, Maria! If Celes becomes my wife, I'll help!
She's like, we're getting married.
We're getting married.
This is one of those weird things that can happen only in certain types of fantasy stories where there's a guy who is going to force somebody to marry him, and then he's a good guy.
Well, to be fair to Setzer, we don't know the whole story. Maybe Maria is, like, totally into him.
They've been pen paling from afar.
Like they all met at some fancy Empire-sponsored, like, ball or gambling night, and he was hitting on her, and he's like, I might just kidnap you away and steal you from my wife.
And she was like,
And she was
seriously,
like-
do that.
It doesn't seem like that's what happened.
No. But
Yeah.
anyway, he's insisting right now that it's like, all right, well, if Maria's not down, maybe Celeste is. And so I'll go along with your plan, but the price is you become my wife.
But like all gamblers, he has one weakness, and that's gambling.
That's gambling.
We'll decide with a coin toss.
Another coin toss, dude?
Yes.
How has this become a genuine thing in this game?
Because it's like the brothers were like, coin toss. And then she went up to him and she was like, do you have any ideas? And he's like, coin toss? She consulted Edgar about this and he's like, coin tosses will never steer you wrong. It's always good.
That's hilarious. That's amazing.
I was estranged with my brother for like a decade. It was awesome.
I'm just
If it's heads...
I'm just blown away by the fact that our own show has included some incredibly important, life-changing choices on a coin toss conceptually, and
now it's adding up to this.
it's adding up to this. I didn't know that.
If it's heads, you'll help us. If it's tails, I'll go with you. Well, Mr. Gambler, you think you have the balls for this game?
Oh ho! Fine, I accept.
Celeste, you can't become his wife. You just can't. You're my proxy for my grief. I need you to not be married to him right now.
Ready?
What happens here is they flip the coin and Celes wins. It's worth pointing out that not only was Edgar consulted about the coin toss, but this is Edgar's coin.
Right. This is specifically the coin that, as we said before, decided the fate of a kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I win. Now honor your part of the bargain.
And Setzer walks up to it and picks it up, and it is a double-sided coin.
Yep.
How
See?
unusual! A coin with identical sides!
We cheated.
That coin!
Oh my god!
Big brother, don't tell me! Oh, holy shit! Wait a minute. Whoa.
If you remember, I mean, maybe I'll just give a brief rundown. Edgar and Sabine, back when their father died, the decision was, look, Sabine, you obviously want to go off and not have any responsibility.
Right.
Let me flip this coin. If it comes up heads, you can do that. And if it's tails, we'll do what Dad wanted. And it came up heads.
What do you
Which
know?
means that from the beginning, Edgar was planning to just, like, take the kingdom so that his brother could go live his life.
So Setzer picks up the coin and he's like, haha, you tricked me. And it's a double-sided coin. And Sabine looks at Edgar like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, this is like an entire lifetime's worth of important shit just got like a Band-Aid ripped off, or ripcord, whatever term you want to use.
A parachute folded up and then unfolded quickly inside of his brain. The moment of that coin flip is played as though Edgar is doing Sabine a favor.
Right.
But what's actually happening is Edgar is just grabbing all of the power
He's
for himself.
stealing the kingdom.
Yeah, he steals the kingdom.
That's literally what he did.
Yeah. The thing I really like about this is that this is like a twist in the story that isn't like the bad guy like reversing the fortunes of the heroes. This is
Right.
like a interpersonal twist
Yes.
about a thing that happened in the past. It's like it's a piece of storytelling that
Is good.
is good. And I mean, I still don't see a lot of games that deliver with this kind of
Yeah.
like precision.
Yeah, this is actually very perfectly done, I think.
Oh my god.
I think you've been hustled, Mr. Gambler.
Oh my god.
And you too, Sabine.
And you too, the people of Figaro.
All of the people in the kingdom of Figaro.
Ha! How low can you get? I love it. With John, I love it. All right, I'll help you. Nothing to lose but my life. My life is a chip in your pile.
Ante up.
Ante up with Chris Kattan.
This unwieldy looking ship really moves. Could it crash?
I mean, it is flying in the sky.
When things fall, they fall.
When
It's all a
things
matter
fall,
of
they
fate.
fall. It's all
Oh,
a
yeah.
matter of fate.
Oh,
Wait, no,
God.
now it's becoming my. Oh shit! We can only let one really small character be. It's my favorite impression to do, and it's the worst sounding thing in the world, and it's the Paul McCartney impression.
Are you sure that
Because like, here's a taste of it. It's like, yeah, I'm too into Don
the
Pardo
ship's
right now.
going to stick out like a
The ship's gonna stick out like a store film. Better land some distance away.
That's pretty great.
Rachel and I wrote an entire script. I'm sure I've told you about it, around surrounding that becoming an epidemic that winds up taking over
Yeah.
the world. I'll wait on board in case of an emergency. This looks crazy.
So with Setzer charmed at our attempt to cheat him,
Yep.
we're sailing in his airship like across the sea. This is like a cinematic shot of an airship flying towards like spotlights in the sky. It's like
Yeah.
incredibly ominous.
We're coming up on the movie premiere of Death.
Right. The awesome thing about that whole opera sequence is that they're like, get ready for part 2. And that's literally like the curtain closing on the end of the second act of it's really like the end of the first act of the game.
Yeah.
The second act, it gets like much darker throughout. Like
Yeah.
you're leaving like the light, like nice
right.
part of the game right now and like sailing into the blackness.
Dark side.
I mean, I don't want this. We always had the intention of like, this won't be a podcast where we just gush about things we like, but like this part of the game is
It's
so
great.
good.
It is.
That whole opera is about, like, the main character in it. She doesn't want to go with this, like, evil prince. She wants her old love, but, like, she doesn't have a choice. And then, like, the rest of the game as it unfolds mirrors that in a not exact way, but, like, a way that works. It's just, it's great. If you
a
haven't
great
played
game.
this game, this part alone is worth it.
Yeah.
Like, play to this part.
I think a lot of people stop before here. They usually give up around the choose your own adventure.
Or around that fucking clock.
Yeah, god damn it.
So we're just flying out over the ocean, headed straight for a giant pyramid that's coming up on the
We
horizon.
gotta get to the Empire.
Because even these people knew that the Earth wasn't flat.
I saw an ad for a Discovery show that was like, Discovery crushes flat Earth theory, and I was like, oh my god, really? Like, why do you feel the need to even do that? Like, you're like, we're gonna put it to rest. New town. We're in the Empire. Three cheers for the Empire. And they're all like,
hooray.
what the fuck? This is Albrook, the occupied city. I'm gonna save.
Do you want to explore this town and then...
Or should we call it there?
We should
That's,
probably call it there.
That's a pretty, like, definitive, we walk into the town and begin.
Yeah.
Like, that feels really good to me. It's 12:13, but man,
Is that gonna be...
how fucking amazing is that segment?
It's so good.
It's amazing.
Being at the opera, like, the whole being up in the balcony, the artwork of it. Like, we're now in an era of the Super Nintendo that's like, this is what the retro gamers are actually emulating.
Yeah.
Everything about this game is working. Mm-hmm. So, day 2.
And that's episode 9, and that's day 2.
Yeah, and that's the end of Act 1 of the game.
Yeah.
You're also hearing us right now choose to go to bed at midnight.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, part of it was like, I was so looking forward to this game that I was like, I don't want to hate this when I'm done with it. Like,
Yeah.
I want to savor this one.
Yeah, let's make more adult decisions, like playing a video game from 10 a.m. to midnight.
To midnight, just to midnight, not till 3 or 4.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Go to bed, get 6 or 7 hours of sleep.
God, man, come right back at it.
Yeah, but still, I'm proud of us when I hear that.
Exactly. Take the wins where you can get them. Oh, let's do the Billboard segment this week.
Oh yeah, this week we got tickets to the opera.
Yes, let's go. Let's go see what we got going on. Mm-hmm. My God, this place is incredible.
Yeah, wow, walking up from the outside, I mean, it looks like this has got to be what, like a 10-story building?
I know. This is like, oh, that's why the stage is so big.
Yeah,
Of
that, I mean,
course.
yeah, they can fit a whole castle rampart on that stage. I believe it from here. And I mean, look at, we're just on this like windswept plain by the sea.
Yeah, you walk in and you just don't expect something so grand.
God, and look at the line of carriages and people wearing masks ready for the orgy and masquerade afterward.
That's amazing how many people are in orgy masks. But I do love, like, yeah, like, there's stretch wagons,
Yeah.
like pulling up to the outside of this place.
Yeah.
All right, let's go in. We got our tickets. All right, you're taking our tickets. Okay.
Wow. Look at these programs. These are thick.
Wow, this. Oh, it's full. It's full in here.
It's full. It's
We should stay quiet, I guess, right? Like, find
I
our
think
seats.
we can talk quietly.
Excuse me. And where is the billboard?
Oh, look! They have it. The screen in front of the curtain. There's a screen.
Okay, so what we're seeing right now is like they've turned the theater into like a movie theater almost.
Yeah, it's like
And
when you go to movie theaters and you get to watch all those car advertisements before you see the movie.
yeah, everybody's favorite part of the movie. Okay, so let's read this billboard. This is the coolest billboard by far.
This is just like,
Okay. The billboard reads, "Do you like podcasts? Do you like listening to salty old bisexual women who dole out questionable advice and inevitably end up talking about BioWare games? Join Brandan, Claire, and Imogen as they negotiate the rocky road of mid-30s to early 40s geekdom. We're here, we're bi, and there are 3 of us. Listen to Bye 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 at byebyebuycast.blog or wherever you get your podcasts. That's BIBIBI cast. That is awesome.
wow, that's some amazing ad copy
That is
right there.
so good.
And Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, we have to listen
If
to the
it's as
Bye Bye
funny as the
Byecast.
ad copy.
Yeah,
it's
so
totally-
3 salty old bisexual people who are doling out questionable advice. That's today's billboard.
If there's one thing I can never get enough of, it's questionable advice.
Now, does the opera start?
Yeah, I think we should,
Okay, any minute.
stick around this time.
All right.
Uncle Alfie's coming through!
Oh, God.
Let's get the fuck outta
I
here.
need Tentacle juices.
And that's the billboard this week. If you guys would like a billboard, it can say whatever you want it to say. Just email nocatpodcast@gmail.com with the subject line billboards. They're $50 a piece, and
And my God, that opera.
right?
I mean, the East and the West,
they met.
Prince Rouse. I cried.
I cried.
I cried.
I cried too.
Anyway, we have many beautiful locations
Yes.
across the world of
Get in touch with us about
Final
them.
Fantasy VI.
So please rate and review us on iTunes or Apple Podcasts player, whatever. However, because I assume people are not going to iTunes to rate.
Right. It's weird to me that the podcast player is not called iTunes.
Right.
But I don't know what they're doing over
What
there.
a bunch of nonsense.
We
Rate
don't-
us
we don't need to
there.
get into
But
that whole-
Go there, deal with that garbage, and rate us, please.
Please.
It makes a big difference. Thank you to everybody who supports us out there on Patreon. Mm-hmm. Your support really means a lot.
Yeah, it really makes a difference to us in our lives, and we hope our show in some way might make a difference in your life. So
Yeah.
thank you for showing us that support. It's really, really
And if
special.
you feel anything remotely like that and you care to, head on over to patreon.com/nocat. That's NOCKAT. You can get the episodes early and you can get the video version, which is awesome.
We're on Twitter.
We're on Twitter
Facebook.
at NoCat Podcasts. You know the deal.
Yeah,
You know-
As
you
I
know
said,
how to
I
find
think in season 1,
Yeah.
if you're on the internet,
You know
and you
how
want to
to-
find us,
You can do it.
yeah,
So do that. We love hearing from you.
we do. We really do.
And if you like t-shirts, we have those for sale. Head on over to noonecanknowaboutthis.com and click on the t-shirt link, or just go to etsy.com and search NOCKAT. You should find it that way.
Yeah, that way you don't have to listen while you're naked, I guess.
That's the problem, is that nobody has shirts.
I hear
That's
from
why they
so
would come
many
to
people.
us.
They're coming to me and they're saying, "I love your show," but whenever I listen, I feel like I have nothing to wear to the event.
Well, now that's
Now you do.
Now you do. With that, here's a little taste of next week on No One Can Know About This.
No, we ended up not doing it anymore.
No.
And we changed it to Paul McCartney.
No, it's somebody else becomes Paul McCartney.
Well, from what I remember, at some point we don't do the Don Pardo that much.
I have bad news for you, my friend.
Are you sure?
I'm like 99% sure that Don
I'm-
Pardo sticks around. And because I remember being like, when we went over it the first time, I was like, my God, I should have changed that voice. It wore so thin.
I am 99% sure that when we end a day and come back, Don Pardo becomes less and less.
I don't think so.
Are you I mean, I really felt
I
like
kept hitting it harder as time went on.
Oh.
And like the Paul McCartney thing is it. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out just how bearable all this shit is.
Place your bets. Who's right, Jeff or me?